I mean, it's crazy because I really think Bergeron also could have been a male model. Hey, what's up?
Have you noticed that?
That there are a lot of less low quals walking around?
Yeah.
Dude, how? It has been weeks. They've been disappearing, man. How have you not noticed this by now?
I don't know, man. I've been distracted, but I just wanted to check on you, make sure you were, mentally stable.
Wait, hold on. Are you implying that having less figments of me walking around is correlated with me being less mentally stable?
Well, yeah.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team, there is not a dub to discuss. No, there's no dub, but there's no not dub, so we're feeling pretty good, I guess. We're feeling pretty good right now. It has been a couple days. This kind of feels like the longest I've gone without making a video in a while. This is a more casual video. We're going to be talking about the second round against the Islanders. We now know who we're facing. I wanted the Pens, and I think we all know why I wanted the Pens, especially if you watch the Islanders clinching game. Holy smokes, is Jari bad. My God. But no, we get the team that thrives off of low-scoring matchups with a really solid goaltender. But before we get there, guys, 150. Thank you. And then, I said I was close to 150. You guys subscribed. I blinked and we were at 160. And I was like, what? Thank you. I appreciate it very much. Let's talk about this matchup. And like I said, this is a casual episode. We're just chatting. This is you're on Twitch right now and you're just looking at a just chatting stream. We're just going to talk about this. Because I didn't like the way my preview went with the Capitals one. It's a little jumbled, a little bit much. So I want this just to be more conversational. And the first thing I think of when I talk about this Islanders series is the season series. And does it actually affect anything? Do we learn anything from it? Honestly, no, not really. Maybe a little bit. I think we learned one thing. We learned that fourth line that the Islanders have are capable of playing pretty even, not possession-wise, but really shutting down our first line, which is one of your bigger red flags, but we'll get there. When you think about the season series, the Boston Bruins went 3-3-2 against the Islanders. We lost our first 5 games against them, 4 of which were away at the Coliseum. The other one was the first game at home against them. Now, this comes with a little bit of because a lot of those games are very close. They're games that the Islanders thrive in, the one-goal games. They're very good at closing out games. There is one game, the 7-2 ass-kicking that we took, that is definitely an outlier when you look at the overall scores. I'm not as much worried about that. That is one of the games that happened when our injury bug really took off. A few of these games against the Islanders were during that bad plunge slump of all the injuries on the back end. So you look at the 5 losses, and you really can't draw a ton from them. But then you look at the 3 wins we had after the trade deadline, and you also still can't draw a ton from them. The Isles were going through a slump, and they were struggling because A, they lost their captain and rock, Anders Lee, and B, sometimes you hit these little skids at times, and it's hard to get out of them. And all 3 of those games at home for us against a slumping team, I don't know if I can really draw too much confidence from that. So when I look at the season series, I kind of go, it's a wash. It doesn't tell me enough to be confident one way or another. Let's look at round 1. And from the Islanders' perspective, round 1 showed that they have 4 lines that can roll, man. They all compete hard. They all have structure. Now, not all of these lines are gems, and in fact, they get pinned often. I mean, they get crushed into their zone. They very rarely win a possession battle, but the Islanders are the pinnacle team of bend, don't break. That's not a team I like facing. That's well, let's see which way the bounces go tonight game. I don't like that when I want my team to go on a cup run. I want to know what I'm getting out of that team and go, okay, we can just straight up beat them, or we straight up are underdogs. That's not what this series is. When you look at the first round series, the Islanders were outplayed for 90% of the series. And I'm not saying they didn't deserve the wins, but if you eliminate the very poor goaltending from Pittsburgh, which the goaltender's part of the team, don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting here going the Islanders weren't as good a team as the Penguins. I'm saying the 5 skaters in front of Pittsburgh's net was better than the 5 skaters in front of the Isles net. Here's the difference. Jari was terrible. But so if you eliminate the bad goaltending, if you talk possession numbers, you talk Corsi and Fenwick, you talk expected goals versus expected goals allowed, the Penguins on paper should win that series. And that's what we're about to go up against. We have more star power on our offense. We have more star power on our defense. And goaltending? I would like to call it a wash, but Sorokin is going to start in his 5th playoff game of his career in game 1. I'm going to go with the guy with experience. We have an advantage in net, which is Rask. Sorokin's been better than Rask so far. We'll see if it continues. Advantage on offense. We have more possession, more shots, more expected goals consistently. Advantage on defense. We have more speed, more outlet passes that we can make. The star power is there. So what are we afraid of? Well, what we're afraid of is the fact that the Pittsburgh Penguins outplayed that Isles team the way we naturally would and still lost that series. The reason I'm confident is we have a goalie. The Islanders lost the possession battle in every single game they played against the Penguins. They weren't positive in a single game. The Islanders lost the expected goals battle in 4 of the 6 games and won 3 of those games. That team loves low-scoring slogfests. They are not uncomfortable in a 1-goal game. They aren't, and that should be our biggest fear. Our concern should be going into the 3rd with a 1-goal lead and we stop pushing. We start protecting the lead. That is what they want. That team wants that so badly because they know they're going to get 1 or 2 chances, and man, are they good at finishing those chances. They have no problem creating 1 or 2 high-danger chances every 10 minutes because they're so good at finishing on those 1 or 2. They're so good at creating traffic in front of the net, picking up those rebounds, throwing them in. That is a problem if we allow it. So as far as advantages go, we have the star power. We have the special teams. Our power play and penalty kill have been incredible round 1. And we have home ice advantage, which I know this is a little skewed because of where we were during the season, but at home, we held the Islanders to 1.8 goals per game. Away, 3.5 goals per game for the Islanders. That's a difference. Disadvantages. Now, coaching isn't a disadvantage, but I think Trotz is the better coach here right now. I really do. No disrespect to Bruce, he's brilliant. Trotz can coach with him. At very least, I still think he has an edge when it comes to coaching. But on the ice, we don't have any! The biggest disadvantage we will create ourselves, which is Sorokin keeps making saves, and we cannot buy a goal, and we start taking penalties. This team is the most penalized team in the league. We need to fix that at some point, man. We can't give the Islanders any chances because they'll hold on to a 1 or 2 goal lead. They will. We win by playing the game for the full 60. We do not take any time off, and we make sure that even if we have a lead, especially a big one, we do not think the game is over. We win staying out of the box, not giving them any opportunity in that offensive zone for free. We win with clean exits from our defensive zone. They thrive off turnovers, which, as you'll have noticed from the last round, is just playoff hockey. How many goals last round did we say almost were clear? They almost got that puck out. Every time you turn it over in your own zone, you're playing a team good enough to make you pay for it. As for storylines in this one, there's not a lot to go off of. You're going to hear the Barzal thing from the 2015 draft and how he passed on him 3 times in that first round. You're going to hear that a lot. That's okay. We're all aware of the 2015 draft. We're just doing our best to handle it. The other storyline is the Coliseum is done after this year. That's it. The Islanders are moving. I don't know. There would have been a lot more fun storylines with the Penguins. There's more of a rivalry there. But we get the Isles, the team that I didn't want to face, because I just think there's going to be too many games that are determined by a lucky bounce. And we don't tend to be the lucky bounce team. Either way, the Isles should be overmatched. They really should be. The Bruins should view this as a dangerous team, but a team that is a stepping stone to a cup. And I know, every series, stepping stone to a cup. But this is really one that, all right, we need to prove something here. Which brings me to my prediction, and this is such a weird prediction for me because I'm a coward at heart. I am a coward. I'm so afraid so afraid of saying something that I deem as screwing my team over. Bruins in 5. We're a better team on paper. We've played like a better team over the last 2 months. I just don't see it. And if this team is the cup contender I think it is, then we can't struggle here. This can't be a series where we struggle. Because I know, looking around the league, who's left playing, that there's 4 or 5 teams that should smoke this Islanders team. Bruins in 5, because we are the cup contending team I think we are. That does it for me, guys. Like I said, this is just a casual video, a nice little talk through, get us ready for this series. I'm so excited for game 1. I think it's going to be Saturday. It makes sense from a scheduling standpoint. We will see. They have not yet released that at time of recording. I'm pumped. Let's go, Bees!